friends, family, loved ones, faculty, and fellow graduates. I am Tal Brodnitsky, Senior Class Vice President. It is an honor and a pleasure to have the privilege of being a small part of this ginormous celebration. Graduates, give yourselves a round of applause. You did it! To family and friends, I personally want to thank you. All of you have made this day possible. Your constant encouragement, inspiration, sacrifice, nagging, and love brought us here. The graduates, I'm sure, know this, and we all say thanks. And to the class of 2023, you are beautifully amazing people. I can't wait to see you turn your dreams into your realities. For some, walking across the stage means heading straight into the workforce and never having to go to school ever again, ending the 13-year streak of sitting on those uncomfortable seats. For others, walking across the stage means going on to even more education at a university, meeting new people, and living the college dream that many still crave. For those who see military in their future, thank you for your courage and future service for this country. And those who don't know what is next in their life, walking across the stage is just another opening to new beginnings and opportunities. We are all so different, but that's what makes us perfect. Good luck to you all. I believe in you. For most of us, this will be the last time you see everyone. Though I wish that wasn't the case, I know it is the reality. Soon, we will be referring to these past 4 years as the good old days, even when most of us couldn't wait to get older and leave these halls. There will be more remember whens than hays, more stalking of Facebooks than seeing people in class, and more wishing we could revisit the purity that high school brought us, the shelter it provided, the friendships it gifted, and the memories it gave us that will eventually fade. Last week, I stumbled upon an article with the heading, "The 7 Rules of Life." As I read, I knew I had to share what I learned with the people I hold close to my heart. Number 1, let it go. Never ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday. Number 2, ignore them. Don't listen to other people. Live a life that's empowering to you. Number 3, give it time. Time heals everything. Number 4, don't compare. The only person you should try to beat is the person you were yesterday. Number 5, stay calm. It's okay not to have everything figured out. Know that in time, you will get there. Number 6, it's on you. Only you are in charge of your happiness. And number 7, life is short. Enjoy it while you can. But who am I to stand up here and give you advice about what's to come? I know just as much as you of what the future holds, which is nothing. What I do know is that we are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes, and so will I. When hard things happen to us, we will recover. We will learn from it. We will grow more resilient because of it. Just like when COVID interrupted our first year of high school, we were faced with something the world knew nothing about. But no one let it affect their schoolwork. I mean, kids who were getting D's and C's were suddenly getting A's and B's. Talk about persistence. So knowing this, I have extreme faith in each and every one of you. No matter where we end up, we all started the same. Our time at Northwestern Regional 7 is just a small part of our larger story. Whatever you choose to do, whatever path you find yourself down, the legacy of the class of 2023 will live on with your name. I am so proud of you all. Let's hear it one more time for the graduates. Next, please join me and stand for the singing of our national anthem.
Sorry, one moment. Parents, families, teachers, administrators, representatives. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Oh yes, the class of 2023! Hello everyone, I'm Morgan Plitt, the senior class president. Thank you all for attending the graduation of the greatest class Northwestern High School has ever seen. Along with having a high GPA, our class also set the record for highest CPA, cornhole played annually. We played approximately 472 cornhole games per quarter, as a class, and wrote approximately 3 English papers per quarter, as a class. Now, let's not sell ourselves short. At least we placed in the top 4 for homecoming decorating every single year. But that's not all. We even printed and made a life-size collage of Mr. Carroll. He was in the senior courtyard and we left him snacks. He even made it to prom, busting some serious dance moves. If all this doesn't shout a class that will go down in history, I don't know what does. As we look back to the earlier years of high school, or even middle school, we can see how much we've grown. Not only just in our education skills, like reading or writing, but we've also shown growth within our confidence, communication, responsibility, respectfulness, kindness, perseverance, leadership, and so much more, like our ability to procrastinate, but we'll get more on that later. Alas, 4 years is far too short of time to be amongst such excellent and admirable students. I don't know half of you as well as I should like, but what I do know is that this is a class that has shown toughness, resilience, compassion, and empathy. And that fills my heart. We've worked through the hardships of COVID, the stress of deadlines, getting crushed by the teachers in the seniors' first staff volleyball game, and confusing the faculty and student parking lots quite often. Through it all, there is no obstacle we couldn't overcome, no challenge we couldn't undertake, and 4 years later, we are stronger than ever. These innate senses of fortitude and togetherness are truly what embodies the spirit of our graduating class. It has truly been my honor to serve as your class president these past 4 years. Thanks for voting for FLIT. I didn't quit, and you counted on it. To parents, grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, siblings, teachers, and friends, I know my fellow students will join me in recognizing that these accomplishments would not be possible without your support and without your love. Just allow us a moment to say thank you. Thank you all again for coming. In class of 2023, I would like to leave you with some wise words. First, by none other than Taylor Swift. I know it can be really overwhelming figuring out who to be and when, who you are now and how to act in order to get where you want to go. I have some good news. It's totally up to you. I also have some terrifying news. It's totally up to you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live your best life. Remember to stay true to yourselves, follow your passions, and keep learning new things. Life is full of opportunities. Go seize them. And if you ever worried, don't worry about a thing. Because as Bob Marley sings, woo! We did it! Now give yourselves a round of applause! All right, now put your hands together for the amazing, wonderful, bright, one of the best people I've ever met, our class salutatorian, Megan Spielman.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Megan Spielman. It is quite intimidating being up here among the greatest speech givers in our grade. I mean, Tal and Morgan give killer speeches every year when running for class officers. And in our junior year English class, Chris gave an amazing speech about salad that I will never forget. I, however, have taken every opportunity to dodge any form of speech giving. One of the sole reasons I took AP Lit this year was so I did not have to take public speaking. If I was asked 2 years ago to give a speech, I would have said no without even giving it a second thought. I was never the outgoing type and never really cared for my voice to be heard. My time at Northwestern, however, has allowed me to grow as a person and push me out of my comfort zone. I experienced this when Mr. Franklin quite honestly gave me no other choice but to speak to a state representative for my capstone project. While this was one of the most terrifying high school experiences of mine, I'll admit that it was for the better, and it gave me some experience that I would have never otherwise received. But I'm not sure if I should forgive him yet. While I owe a lot of my success to my wonderful teachers, the one person that I'd like to thank the most is my sister. Without her, I don't know if I would be up here giving this speech right now. When she was in second grade and I was in preschool, every day when she came home from school, we would play teacher. We'd set up several name tags for pretend students and give out pretend tests. She would teach me everything she learned that day at school, and soon enough, I was multiplying in kindergarten, almost better than she could. I'm not sure if without this boost, I would have achieved the same excellence that I did. Her influence on me continued throughout high school, with her recommending which classes to take, telling me which teachers are great and those I should watch out for. I know some of you have been counting down the days to get out of here since last year. I, however, was never really excited for high school to be over. This routine that we've had for the past 4 years has grown to be very comfortable, and having to do anything else is quite honestly scary. Although I will not miss waking up so early after having to stay up so late doing homework every night, there are so many parts of high school that I'm sad to leave behind. I'll miss my 6-person calc class and listening to forced jokes. I'll miss Avin's hilarious commentary in English class. I'll miss sitting with Sophia and Lindsay and picking on Chris in statistics. I'll miss the discussions in our apes class. I'll miss having commons with my best friend. I'll miss witnessing the shenanigans of high school PE with Matt, and I'll miss bonding over the confusion of our physics labs. I mean, does anyone know why woodpeckers don't get concussions? Or how the sport of curling works? And maybe I'll even miss marching, Just kidding. But I will miss our band performances. Most of all, I will miss the family that we've created here at Northwestern. No matter where you guys are headed in the following years, I know that you will accomplish great things. It may seem as if you have no idea what you are doing and what you want to do, but that's normal. I mean, I very likely might end up hating the major I chose, but eventually we will all figure out what makes us happy, which is what's important. I wish you all the best of luck. Next, please enjoy a musical selection by our high school choir.
Singing, and the sky is clear and red. When the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. If you find it's me you're missing, if you're hoping I'll return, to your thoughts I'll soon be listening. In the road I'll stop and turn, then the wind will set me racing as my journey is its end, and the path I'll be retracing when I'm homeward bound again. Guide me not to the pasture, take me not to the clouds, set me free to find my calling and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, I'll be homeward bound
That was so beautiful. And I don't think there's ever been a time where you've taken the stage to sing a song that I haven't been deeply moved. I want to thank your teachers and the high school choir one more time, please. Thank you. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to welcome you to Northwestern's 2023 graduation ceremony. It's my pleasure to introduce tonight's faculty speaker, Mr. Tom Hicks. Tom was raised in Winstead, where he lived with his parents, Karen and Gary, educators themselves, and two brothers, Dan and Greg. Upon graduating from the Gilbert School, Mr. Hicks continued his education at St. Michael's College in Vermont. During his time at St. Michael's, he took advantage of various internships and volunteer opportunities and was employed by the Winooski School District, where he worked with refugees from various parts of the globe, including Somalia, Iran, and Korea. In the fall of 2008, Mr. Hicks was accepted into the Advanced Studies in England program, where he lived in Bath, England, studying history and education. While there, he worked at Haysfield School and Technology College, teaching students in Year 9, Year 10, and also those enrolled in the school's sixth form program. Upon his return to the United States, Mr. Hicks was inducted into Phi Alpha Theta, a National History Honor Society. He graduated from St. Michael's in 2010 with a focus in secondary education and a Bachelor's of Arts degree in history. In 2011, Mr. Hicks was hired as a ninth grade history teacher at Northwestern. As Mr. Hicks continued his role within the history department, he began to take on more responsibilities within the schools, becoming the head middle school basketball coach and then Northwestern's varsity golf coach in 2013. In 2018, he received his master's degree in educational technology from UConn. He now lives in Canaan with his wife Becca and his dog Harvey. He is a talented, dedicated, and deserving educator who has the gift of storytelling. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tom Hicks.
Hey, everyone. All right. Thank you, Dr. Palmer, for that kind introduction. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight to celebrate the commencement exercises for the class of 2023 as they continue their journey onto great things. But most importantly, I need to begin my address this evening with a special thank you. The last 4 years have been something that none of us could have imagined or prepared for. The students sitting on this stage will forever remember their high school experience as one that was filled with starts and stops, different schedules, shifting learning models, contact tracing, and many requests from administrators, teachers, and other staff. You all had a lot asked of you during your time in high school, and throughout it all, you made the most of these ups and downs. I got to know the majority of you sitting on this stage tonight in the fall of 2021, as we return to our first full year of normalcy after 2 rather unorthodox ones. At the start of your junior year, I know that myself and many of my fellow faculty members were suffering from some severe burnout after all that had happened in the preceding months. However, I will never forget the sense of genuine appreciation and excitement that your class entered the building with that year. It was as if all the disruption and uncertainty had evolved into a feeling of anticipation and gratitude that some sense of normalcy had finally returned. And that feeling was contagious. Class of 2023, I must thank you for providing me and all within our building with a true testimonial of how important a sense of community can be for any group of people, and just how reinvigorating your enthusiasm was for our Northwestern community. Let's give them a round of applause for that. So over the last few weeks, I've spoken with a few of you and sought to understand exactly what you were hoping to hear from this speech. It seems that most of you were hoping to hear a few parting words of wisdom from Mr. Hicks. So as a historian, I've done my research, I've checked some of my facts, and I'm ready to share my findings. So in these few minutes we have together, I hope that we can discover a little bit more about the past and see if there are any more lessons that we can learn from Mr. Thomas Hicks. So you may not know this, but I love the Olympics. I love the achievement, I love the pageantry, I love the history behind it. But if we look deep into the past of the Olympiad, there is one year that stands out to me, the 1904 St. Louis Games. And let me tell you, they sound like the strangest, most confusing, borderline idiotic sporting event that I have ever heard of. And that's coming from the school's golf coach. You see, in 1904, the events looked drastically different from what you might think of today. For example, you could have grabbed a group of friends and competed in a medal for the tug of war. And better yet, one of the proposed trial events that ran that year was Olympic dueling. Not fencing, not wrestling, but pistol dueling. They ran it in the next one also. But by far, the most infamous event of the 1904 Olympics was the marathon. Now, I need to be clear here. Everything that I am about to share with you is true. And we're going to learn a little bit about some individuals who, in all honesty, may not be the greatest role models to look up to. However, if we dig a little deeper into their stories and really analyze a bit of what's going on here, I think that there are some very important and valuable lessons that we can learn from this race. So our first spotlight contender in the aforementioned marathon was a Cuban nationalist by the name of Felix Caraval. How'd I do, Senora Vitz? Okay, más o menos, I got it, okay. Felix was a former mailman whose lifelong dream had been to compete in international athletic competitions. However, he knew that this would take some serious skills and, more importantly, some serious funds that he was a little short on. So in order to achieve his goal, Caraval moved from city to city in Cuba, competing in exhibition races where he would challenge locals in fundraising endeavors. As 1904 drew closer, he realized that he was a little short on the funds to afford his ticket across the Gulf of Mexico to the United States. Undeterred, he set out on his most ambitious fundraising endeavor to date, running across the entirety of the island of Cuba. And it worked. He earned enough money to get from Havana to St. Louis. But there was one issue. Caraval's port of entry into the United States was going to be New Orleans, and he loved his dice games. After just 24 hours in the Big Easy, Felix had lost all of his remaining travel money, entry fees, luggage, and spare clothes. But that would not stop our friend Felix. He hitchhiked his way from New Orleans to St. Louis and made it to the starting line with just minutes to spare. Despite his setbacks, he was determined to reach that starting line, and he did just that. Many of the competitors on the starting line noted a, quote, strange little man, he was only 4'11", wearing dress slacks, a baggy long-sleeve button-down shirt, a beret, and black dress shoes. One of the race officials took pity on him and offered him a pair of scissors to quickly tailor his pants into a pair of shorts. Caraval had stayed focused on his goal and his determination, and his resiliency got him to that starting line. This is our first lesson. Things are not always going to go as we plan, and ultimately, we are going to fail at some things that we attempt. That is a fact of life, but you cannot get discouraged by your failures. Rather, view them as opportunities. Let's remember how the genius of Winston Churchill described success. Success, he said, consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Think about that. Your successes have a foundation in your failures. Your lives are going to take unexpected twists and turns, and realistically, no matter how detailed your plan is, you cannot lose focus on your goals. You can't shut down when you reach a dead end. You need to push on. And that is exactly what some runners sort of did during this race. Now, in order to understand the next part of our story, we need to understand what race organizers had in store for the strange assortment of competitors who arrived that morning. With temperatures soaring into the high 90s, race organizers wanted to test these runners. One official described the course as, quote, the most difficult a human being had ever been asked to complete. To further add to this chaos, the Olympic Committee wanted to push the best athletes in the world, experimenting with a new theory in athletics at the time called purposeful dehydration. This meant, along the entirety of the course, there were only 2 water stations available to competitors. And once the race started, competitors were dropping left and right from exhaustion, from dust inhalation, from dehydration, cramping, and one South African runner who was chased off course by 2 wild dogs and was found hours later after the conclusion of the race. One of the competitors who succumbed to the elements was a favorite from the U.S. named Fred Lors. After collapsing twice in the race, Lors and his team decided that enough was enough, and he called it quits. He accepted an offer from some spectators who wanted to drive him near the finishing area for the race. After Lors exited the automobile just outside of the small stadium that housed the finish line, he hobbled from the car towards the stadium, and he began to realize the embarrassment that he was about to face over not completing the marathon. But to Lors' surprise, as he limped into the stadium, he was met with a very different reaction. The American crowd was cheering him on, waving their flags, and chanting his name. Lors was overcome with emotion and finished the race. But the crowd was excited for a very different reason. You see, the crowd had been anxiously waiting to see which competitor would enter the arena first. The fans assumed that Lors had run the entire way there. They assumed, skipped the line, sorry, purposeful dehydration up here. And the entire way there. They were thinking they were witnessing an American winning the marathon in near record-setting time. It sent the crowd into a frenzy. Did Lors try to stop them? Did Lors attempt to explain what happened? No, he did not. Instead, Lors slowly raised his arms in the air with an illusion of accomplishment. He broke the finish line and literally fell into the arms of an adoring crowd, pretending to win the race. Lors even went as far to accept a kiss from Alice Roosevelt, the president's daughter, as she placed a wreath of laurels on his head. It was not until about an hour later that Lors would admit what had happened. When pressed about why he lied, Lors simply said, "I was just joking." And this is my next point. He was so worried about the uncomfortable nature of losing that race that Lors had kept his mouth shut about his little joyride. There are many times when you are going to feel uncomfortable in life. And for many of us, that's really difficult. We like to be comfortable, from our surroundings to our clothes to the people we interact with. But there are going to be times in the upcoming weeks, months, and years that you won't be able to escape that feeling. It's tough, but in most cases, try to embrace it, because this is when we have our greatest opportunity to learn. One of my favorite quotes comes from a former NFL quarterback turned coach. He says, "Learning happens at the edge of uncomfortable." Sometimes you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And when that happens, your senses are heightened. You're more receptive to your surroundings, and you'll have a greater opportunity to learn something about the world, or more importantly, about yourself. Now, when competitors started to get word that the race was over and an alleged winner had been crowned, many of them simply stopped running. However, there were a few athletes that kept pushing on to the finish. One of them was that South African guy being chased by those dogs. But our most important competitor, the reason why I chose to focus on this obscure race, also kept running. He was a marathon runner from Massachusetts, and his name was Thomas Hicks. Yes. Oh, hold that woo for 1 second. Hicks was running when the starting pistol sounded. He kept running when he lost the lead at mile 5. Up and down hills through clouds of dust and even some distant barking, Thomas kept pushing. Around mile 10, with no other runners in sight, victory began to fade from his mind. Dehydration, exhaustion, and a sense of defeat began to take its toll, and Hicks collapsed onto the ground. Now you may be thinking to yourself, this is where we get some lesson about the importance of intrinsic motivation, about pushing yourself to your limits in order to achieve our dreams and our goals. And if that were the case, Mr. Hicks, not the Thomas guy from the marathon, would remind us about how when President Kennedy announced America's intention for winning the space race, he said we're doing it not because it's easy, but because it's hard, because it's difficult, and how important it is for us to push ourselves that one step further and not be satisfied with doing the bare minimum, to set lofty goals for ourselves, because when we push to reach these goals, we learn how to innovate, and we appreciate the struggle that we've been through. That is the important message that Mr. Hicks would like you to take away from this part of the lesson. However, we know that reality isn't always so kind, and if you honestly think that is the lesson that old Marathon Thomas is going to teach us here, you have not been paying attention to the other parts of this story. Now, did Thomas end up sort of winning the gold medal? Yes. However, Thomas Hicks is remembered in Olympic history as being one of the most infamous and brazen cheaters on record. When Hicks collapsed at mile 10, he was given a concoction consisting of egg whites, brandy, hot tea, and strychnine, a nerve stimulant which is also a common rat poison. Hicks would be administered this mixture not once, but twice during the remainder of this race. And under the influence of the 1904 PEDs, Hicks was able to complete the race quicker than any of his competitors. But his amoral approach left him with one of the most tarnished legacies in the history of sport. Thomas Hicks succumbed to his fear of failure, he gave in to his embarrassment, and ultimately took the easy way out of a difficult situation. Thomas Hicks, Fred Loers, and Felix Caraval, there we go, Senor Veets got it, are not the best people to try to emulate. But getting to know your class over the last few years, I know that you are all better than these individuals. Many of you have already learned these lessons that we just discussed. Over the last 4 years, you have learned about resiliency, adaptability, about staying the course, and seeing through your goals. This is precisely what we've always attempted to do in history class, to examine the past in order to understand how we can better navigate our future. When you look back at your time at Northwestern, remember the ups and the downs. Remember your victories as well as your setbacks. Try to remember the good, but don't forget your struggles. You've all had your own unique journeys and experiences over the last few years, and I sincerely hope that you will reflect on the decisions you've made and learn from those experiences as you forge your best path forward in the future. Class of 2023, it has been an honor getting to know many of you over the last few years. And best of luck in whatever the future holds for each and every one of you. Congratulations. Thank you. Now, it is my pleasure to invite our class valedictorian, Mr. Chris Ferrati, to the podium.
My speech is very similar. Hello there, families and friends in the audience. Hello there, classmates on the stage next to me. Hello there, fans of Schrodinger, who are both in the audience and on the stage. Studies in the 1950s by Lloyd and Margaret Peterson and George Miller found that the human short-term memory can hold 5 to 9 items and can last about 15 to 30 seconds. If anything else is tried to be stored, or if they're tried to be stored for more than 30 seconds, something is lost. Memories are only maintained when they are stored in the long-term memory, which is unlimited in its size and can last your entire life. I'll come back to this in a little bit, so please remember it. As required credits for all of us to graduate, the class of 2023 had to take history classes. And I'm sure at one point or another we all asked, why? Why do I need to know history? Why do I need to know that Napoleon invaded Russia? Why do I need to know that the 13th president of the United States was Millard Fillmore? If anyone dared to ask, we were always given the answer, you can learn from history. You can learn from the events and mistakes of the past. You know, general advice that'll help each and every one of us. Like, don't invade Russia in the winter. Or, if you want to be a memorable president, don't be named Millard Fillmore. in all seriousness, I do recognize that we need to know history. We need to know what led us to the present day. But then again, I'm not standing on this stage to give a presentation to my social studies class. Unless Mr. Sullivan doesn't think it's too late for extra credit. Oh, that's good. Let me turn your attention back to memories. They're our own individual histories. At any point, you can reflect on what's happened to you or what you did in the past, and then make a better decision based on it. Our own memories can also be a more effective teacher than history. We still learn from the events and mistakes of the past, but it's all more personal and impactful. This didn't happen to some random dead guy. It happened to me. This is probably why we all remember those embarrassing stories or times we messed up. It's so we can learn from it and avoid further embarrassment and pain. You have memories so that the next time you're in second grade at a birthday party, you'll remember not to hit your crush in the face with a basketball. I am very sorry about that one. Memories serve to help us, to give guidance when we may otherwise not know what to do. Our memories of the past 4 years will be no different. That's why we shouldn't just forget about high school or pretend like it never happened, distance ourselves from it. The past 4 years happened. We shouldn't just forget them. Do you remember what I said earlier about short-term and long-term memory? It's been more than 15 to 30 seconds, so you could have forgotten it. Your ability to store memories in the long-term memory comes down to two things: how often you think about the moment, and how alert and aware you are when the moment first occurs. So, if you want to remember something from the past 4 years, think about it often. And if you want to remember something from today, the day that we graduate, be alert, aware, and take a mental note of the moment when it occurs. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to remember. What was important for all of us to remember is going to be different from each and every one of us. What may be important to me may be completely useless to you. But there is something for you to remember. It may be from your classes, like the Pythagorean theorem, or how to write coherent sentences. But it may be from outside your classes. You could remember playing soccer, barely showing up on time for homeroom, not showing up on time for homeroom, not showing up for homeroom. You could remember that one math group you loved, that one math group you hated. Something good, something bad, or something in the middle. At the same time, we have lives to live. We do need to move on from high school. We just have to hold on to something from our time at Northwestern. If you throw it all away, act like it didn't happen, then you might end up making the same mistakes a second time. The 13th President of the United States was so unimportant that you've probably forgotten his name already, even though I've said it twice. Our time at high school should not be forgotten in the same way, because we have something to gain in remembering it. We spent years at this school. Might as well not let them go to waste. So, I now end this speech more seriously than any other I have given to this class. While running for treasurer, I may have ended with a quote from SpongeBob, or left a secret message in my words. I'll leave you now with the words of Billy Joel. Life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. But as we say goodbye, we should try to mentally capture those moments and people that are important to us. those moments and people that deserve to be in our long-term memory. Thank you, class of 2023. Good luck and goodbye. And now, our amazing high school band.
That's good. Yeah, pull down. So you don't, the light, there it goes. See what happened? Go down a little more. Go a little more. Iris is going to read. Go a little more. Up a little bit. Kevin, can you type that in as well? Pull it tighter.
And now to the moment that many in this room have been looking forward to for quite some time. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education and Dr. Palmer, as principal of Northwestern Regional High School, I have examined the transcripts of the members of the graduating class of 2023 and certified that these students have met all of the requirements for graduation set forth by the Board of Education of Regional School District Number 7 and have earned the right to receive their diplomas on this day, June 14th, 2023. At this time, I would like to invite the following individuals to join me in presenting the diplomas to the class of 2023. Ms. Molly Sexton-Reed, Chair of the Board of Education, Dr. Judith Palmer, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Andy Bukulski, House 1 Assistant Principal, Mr. Dan Carroll, House 2 Assistant Principal. I would also like to invite our town selectman, Mr. Dan Jerem from New Hartford. Mr. Don Stein from Bark Hampstead is unable to be here with us this evening, but is represented by Mr. Nick Lekuski. Mr. Chris Johnstone from Colebrook is represented by Mr. Ernie Marmer on the Board of Selectmen, and also Mr. Matt Riska, Town Selectman from Norfolk. Please join me on the stage for the diplomas. That's okay. You can bring one of those. Hello, hello, there we go. I suppose we can graduate this evening. It's fantastic. Are we ready? Christopher William Ferrati. I'm going to give this to you. You ready? You ready? You might want to take that. Megan Ann Spielman. Hold on 1 second. You might want to take the hat off for a second. Congratulations. Morgan Lee Plitt. Natalie Elizabeth Brodnitsky. Forrest Andrew Russo. Samuel John Day. Madeline Ashley Adams. Juliana Grace Albanese. Jillian Grace Anthony. William Alexander Aponte. Alexis Grace Arthur. Brianna Mackenzie Beach. David Michael Bollier. Aaliyah Lynn Bell. Mia Dior Bellamere. Sadie Elizabeth Bielick. Jesse Lane Bierce. Olivia Catherine Bird. John Michael Blaisdell. Bria Althea Block. Katrina Amelie Bois. Alexander Stephen Borelli. Riley Patrick Bossy. Matthew Raymond Burke. Catherine Taylor Bowles. Aiden James Boyle. Carly Elizabeth Budge. Raise it up. Okay. Raise them up for the next one. Raise up the next one. Xander Matthew Budge. Julia Keen Busmeyer. Ethan Jacob Kane. Frederick Marquise Camp, Jr. Alexandra Ninel Caracciolo. Zachary Victor Caracciolo. Miranda Elizabeth Carl. Joseph James Karen. Sophia Marie Carroll. Caitlin Rosalia Case. Colleen Elizabeth Kavanaugh. Austin James Cole. Kaylee Lindsay Conklin. Elijah Andrew Connors. Lana Lynn Cook. Ryan James Cull. Kanyanendu Archer Descupta. Kyla Lee Deloy. Tobin Mackay DeShazo. Patrick James Dickey. Paul Michael DeLeo. Devin Ray DeVita. Rebecca Sophia Doyle. Ryan Duvall. Lillian Ava Dewan. Alexis Catherine Dyer. Lindsay Nicole Dynick. Marina Catherine Dynick. Austin Joseph Asepi. Cole J. Fenley. Cass Lynn Foss. Good job. Congratulations. Sophia Rose Furnett. Owen Michael Frost. Kira Ann Gallagher. Renee Nicole Geigner. Cassidy Elizabeth Godovin. Chelsea May Godovin. Olivia Joy Garrity. Elizabeth Rose Goslin. Noah Daniel Green. Jennifer Quinn Groclaud. Congratulations. Allison May Guyon. Andrew James Hafner. Amy Page Hall. Annabella Susanna Halt. Emily Marie Harris. Anna Josephine Hester. Brianna Marie Hobson Lago. Kelly Hua. Matthew Jeffrey Jacobs. Eric Gunnar Janik. Elizabeth Vale Jerem. Julia Margaret Jerem. Bradley Stephen Kane. Olivia Louise Koch. Congratulations. Ethan Paul Koenig. Tyler Gregory Colbuzz. Caven Jacob Kresge. Cheyenne Mercedes Kroc. Elise Fallon Crone. Casey Marie Labrie. Garrett Timothy Langer. Kiana Bryn LaRose. Amanda Louise Letterman. Erica Lynn Lupinacci. Amber Madrak. Autumn Lori Madrak. Dylan Tyler Marquaz. Alexa Abigail Mazer. Lauren Holly Elizabeth McKelvey. James Anthony Merrithew. Patrick Daly Milchanowski. Joseph Chad Miles. Jillian Elizabeth Moore. Elena Louise Murphy. Isabel Kaylee Nelthrup. Zachary Michael Nocera. Megan Elizabeth North. Alyssa Marie O'Connor. Aiden William O'Neill. Lucas James Olds. Eli Timothy Olson. Olivia Suzanne Olson. Paige Marie Olette. Lily Marie Pagano. Megan Catherine Pierce. Alexander Anthony Podamidas. Catherine Francis Prophy. Tova Marie Rafus. James Harrison Rhodes. Catherine Rose Roberts. Claire Ivy Robichaud. Alexa Elizabeth Rouleau. Annika Jade Ryan. Madison Margaret Sage. Isaiah Sanchez. Colby Michael Sandin. Evan Joseph Scaramuza. Tyler Anthony Schumacher. Jacob David Scrivano. That was pretty good, right? Julia Rose Siri. Anna Grayson Schaefer. Daryl Cross Chirac. Megan Michelle Shishkov. Benjamin James Solano. Lauren Elizabeth Slater. Emma Jane Spencer. Eric Michael Stedman. Kyla Sinclair Stevenson. Luke Kenneth Styland. Victoria Ann Sugarak. Nora Kate Sweeney. Jake William Tatsapaw. Melissa Lynn Tatsapaw. Jenna Sue Topper. Congratulations. Mike, I'm keeping that. Christina Marie Topper. Rachel Ann Veet. Emma Tilly Wallace. Tanyan Cody Weber. Daniel Gordon Welcome. Avin Tyler Wood. Ryan Christopher Warsman. Tegan Addison Wright. Addison Jacob Youngberg. Caitlin Gwen Zenu. Ava Marie Zimmerman. Nicholas Brian Zabrowski. Thomas Edward Zabrowski. Brianna Zaccaro. All right. We're almost there. Before we close, though, a round of applause for the entire class of 2023. And so, before we close, I would actually just like to share the podium for closing remarks with arguably the greatest superintendent of all time, Dr. Judith Palmer. Please welcome her to the podium for closing remarks.
Thank you. Oh, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you too. I really do. I really do. And now our time together is coming to a close, and it's my honor to provide tonight's closing remarks to our graduates. You are very dear to me, and I hope that over your 4 years at Northwestern, it was obvious to you that you were very loved, not only by myself, but by the entire Northwestern faculty and staff. Truth be told, I was in no rush to see this day come. I wanted to hold on to you just a little bit longer, but I know that it's time to turn our attention to what's coming next. My hope for you is that you carry all of the love that you have received from us into your future in these 3 ways: in your thoughts, in your heart, and in your hands. And let me elaborate just on how you might do that. You've probably heard the saying, happiness is an inside job, and it's true. It cannot be found in a relationship with someone else. Money can't buy it. It's not waiting for you at a college or the career or the military that you're pursuing. Happiness is created by your own thoughts, and it comes from what you tell yourself every day. I'll share with you one idea that has helped me create a life full of happiness. When I wake up in the morning, I set an intention to share a simple gesture of kindness, whether it be the warmth of a smile or a kind word to those I encounter throughout the day. You have all engaged with me in this intention, whether you knew it or not, and our connection grew because of it. I believe that the most important key to happiness is found through meaningful relationships that often start with just a smile. If you set those same intentions as you move forward in life and you implement them consistently, they'll soon become a habit and grow into a daily practice, and before you know it, it simply becomes who you are, a way of being. This is the future that I hope for you, one that is full of happiness. Next, I hope you always carry the love that this Northwestern family gave you in your heart. It's meant to be shared. I encourage you to do so with intention. Your heart naturally knows the way to happiness. So go forward purposely, and please, please, please surround yourself with the right people. Those who add joy to your life, people who encourage you and help you to become a better version of yourself. No drama, no mess. Seek out those who enhance your life. I promise you, those are the relationships that will provide you with a sense of belonging in your new community. And they'll help you to create meaningful connections that will open up a wealth of opportunities to you. And lastly, use your hands to create more of what the world needs. The more you use the power of positivity within your mind and the love within your heart, the more good you will naturally create with your hands. Whether you're moving on to pursue a career in computer science, nursing, architecture and design, animal science, business, agriculture, or anything in between, your hands will be helping you to create your future. Use them kindly and lovingly in all the work that you do. Let your hands also serve as a reminder that life is a balance between holding on and letting go. Behind you now is your time at Northwestern. Hold on tight to those memories. Before you now are all of your dreams. Go and chase them by gently letting go of what you've known here at Northwestern and embracing all that is waiting for you. May your hands also be guided to do good work for humanity, to continue what you started in high school by feeding the hungry, caring for the elderly, honoring our veterans, protecting the vulnerable, aiding the homeless, helping those in need, or donating for a cure. Find good people who are working toward the same goals, who are united through compassion and strong in collaboration. My guess is that you will be the leaders in that work. Looking back, it's easy to see that together with the faculty and staff, we accomplished all those things and much more. Together, we created a very special high school where kindness is valued and relationships matter. Now it's time for you to go out on your own and share that Highlander spirit with the world. Trust me, humanity needs everything you have to offer. I have learned over my lifetime that when your mind is full of good intentions, your heart is filled with love, and your hands are creating good work, you will have a beautiful life, and that is my wish for you. Go now, class of 2023, and stand out among your peers in whatever you choose to do next. You are well prepared. You are the best. You are the brightest, the kindest, and above all, the most loved graduating class. Over the past 4 years, whether you were on the track or on the playing field or on the court or in the pool or on the stage or in a classroom, you made me proud to be your superintendent. You created the pride of the Northwest Corner. Thank you for consistently representing yourself, your family, and Northwestern High School with distinction. I will say one final time, I have truly been blessed by knowing each one of you. You have greatly enhanced my life, and I truly love you all. Congratulations, class of 2023. May God continue to watch over and bless you in all that you do. Thank you.
Judy, stay up here. Come on over there. Yeah.
Gary, what are you doing? Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Palmer. And now we have one more thing to do. I was going to say I don't have to ask the class to stand because they were standing, but class of 2023, please stand. Now, as a symbolic gesture of completing high school, graduates, you may now turn your tassels from the right side to the left side. Congratulations. Okay, thank you all for joining us in celebration of the class of 2023. We will now begin the recessional. Please remain seated until the graduates have left the theater. Thank you all very much.
go.